At the time of recording this, the hit manga Chainsaw Man has just released its final chapter. And boy, do I have a lot to say about it. Now, before this starts, I just want to clarify that I think Chainsaw Man is a really good series. And I'm not trying to say that Tatsuki Fujimoto is a terrible author or whatever, and that Chainsaw Man is a terrible series, because I genuinely adore this series. And I adore Fujimoto, which is one of the main reasons that I'm making this video in the first place. No, I've read numerous of Fujimoto's one-shots, and I thought they were all flawless. So I thought surely there's no way that Fujimoto would mess up Chainsaw Man that badly. Many people during part 2 were saying that Chainsaw Man had lost the plot, but I was a D1 Chainsaw Man glazer. I genuinely kept on believing that Fujimoto knew what he was doing, and that the ending would be absolute cinema. Now, was I right? No, not at all. And the main reason why I'm so mad about this is because it's just so out of character of Fujimoto, at least in my opinion. Because to me, Fujimoto is a great author, and I thought that he had a whole plan for what he was gonna do with with one of his most popular works. Now, to start, I want to say that I'm a very enthusiastic Asa Denji shipper. And that's not particularly gonna influence my view on the ending, as some people might think it would. But one of the main reasons that I thought Asa and Denji were so good was because of how Fujimoto had portrayed them and their chemistry. And I thought that the series would end with Asa and Denji finally getting their happy ending. Because it seemed like that would happen. Except it didn't. But many people thought that Chainsaw Man wouldn't have a happy ending, and I at one point was kind of one of those. So it's not that surprising that it didn't happen. It's just what the actual ending was that ticked me off so much. Now, first of all, as you can see, this is chapter 232, meaning that there were 231 prior chapters. And in the second panel of this chapter, all previous 231 chapters have just been boiled down to a bad dream. All of those chapters, all of that is a dream. I'm genuinely baffled. Because, what the heck? Okay? Also, the story seems to set up that this would be the ending, which is another thing. What happened to this plot point? Because at the time of when this chapter came out, it seemed like that this is where the story would end. It would end with Asa and Denji being in their own messed up little world or whatever. And yeah, and maybe that wouldn't be the ending. Maybe there would be like Twist of Fate or something. But where did this storyline go? It genuinely just vanished. And it's not like it vanished in a good way either. Denji got done in by a devil. And not just any devil, but this guy. Like, who is this guy? This devil did what Makima, Yoru, what they all failed to do. And this guy, oh, Denji looks like we got eaten by a devil. Like, holy moly. A lot of people think that Chainsaw Man lost the plot in earlier chapters during the Yoru and Denji fight. But I think that this is truly where Chainsaw Man began to fall apart. This really marked Chainsaw Man completely losing the plot that it had. Everything that it was setting up, all those plot holes, would never be resolved because of this. Now, some people, including myself, had held out hope that, that even though they got eaten, Denji would remain triumphant as always. Until this happens! Until Vegeta just killed himself! Like, what? And after this, a lot of people had speculated that Chainsaw Man would end in a sad ending. Like your typical Fujimoto fashion. A lot of people thought that Denji would die. It would end up with him dead in his shack. Which, although I hated the idea of that ending, it seemed like something that Tatsuki Fujimoto would actually do. Because it fit his character. But did we get that? No. I saw this analysis of someone saying that part 1 marked like Denji having everything. Him going from nothing to everything. And part 2 with him going from everything to nothing. Chainsaw Man would have a terrible ending. It would be miserable. But it would come full circle. And did it do any of that? No, not at all. Actually, not at all. Like, I think that the ending was it was pure fan service in my opinion. Okay? Like, I read this and I thought, at first I was like, oh wow, this chapter is awesome. Because it brought back all of these dead characters that we had connections to. And I was so happy to see Power back to life. Until I realized that this isn't our power. This isn't the power that we had been established for like 80 chapters. This isn't the power that we grew and loved. This is just a random freaking blood fiend that just appeared out of nowhere. Yes, she still has her chemistry with Denji, and yes, I do really appreciate that, but this is not the power that we got. Same thing with Nayuta. Also, this doesn't make any sense. Why is Nayuta in charge of public safety? Like, if everything was reset, then like Makima should be the head of public safety. Now, there's probably some elaborate like reasoning on why, but from this, it just seems like lazy writing. Okay, and also the whole reason why Naruto was so loved among the fan base, why I thought Naruto's death was so messed up, was because Naruto was supposed to be Denji's little sister figure. Okay, they were supposed to be family, but this Naruto is someone that Denji doesn't even know. She's just the head of public safety. Like, how are we supposed to be happy that Naruto and Power are back when they're not even the friends that Denji had made? And Asa Mitaka! Don't even get me started! This was Asa at the beginning of her character arc or whatever. It was the Asa that nobody liked, okay? It was that loser or whatever. And you're supposed to tell me that, oh, Asa and Denji are gonna fall in love. They probably will, okay? They probably will because Denji's like weird. But this gets rid of all of that established. It's just so bad. This is like I just have this problem with all of those anime that like reset their plot or have them reborn as new characters because it removes all the significance of these characters. And if you're gonna bring back beloved characters, where is Aki Hayakawa and Reze? Like, I really wanted to see Aki. I wasn't that enthusiastic about seeing Reze because I like Asa more. But it would make sense to at least see like Reze or Asa or Kobeni or Himano. Like all of those. If you're gonna bring back beloved characters, at least bring back all of them. And speaking of Reze, I thought Reze was alive. Like, I'm not even coping. She canonically was still alive in the manga. There's so many plot holes in this, including Kobeni. Like, Reze was a plot hole in of herself because, like, in the in the division special division 1 fight, we literally see her alive. So you think that in part 2, Reze will probably make an appearance or a cameo at least once, except she doesn't. Same thing with Kobeni. It's Kobeni. I don't even think Kobeni's in part 2. Like, I think Fujimoto just forgot about Kobeni. Which, you know what, like, a lot of people liked Kobeni a lot, and were probably disappointed by that. But, you know, I was, like, kind of iffy on it, because I thought the new characters were done really well. But at least tell us what Kobeni's contract was. Because it was trying to set up, like, oh, Kobeni's contract will probably be super cool and amazing. Except, we don't even get a mention of Kobeni afterwards. So there's so many unresolved plot points, it's so bad, man. Anyway, in conclusion, this ending just feels like pure fan service to me. And it's not even good fan service either. Like, it seemed like Fujimoto knew where he was going with, like, where he wanted to end it. He set up all of this stuff. And then he just doubles down on it last second. All these plot holes that he worked very hard to develop to make people think that he would fix them are just nowhere to be found. This ending was just not good. And it really hurts me to say that because I've been a Chainsaw Man defender since day one. Like, I remember when people would call it a Gooner show. Like, before the Chainsaw Man LARPing incident, everyone would call it a Gooner show. And I say, no. This Chainsaw Man is very good. And I go on a whole tangent. I put so many of my friends on Chainsaw Man, telling them how good it was. But this ending, oh my god. And I'm not like those people who say that part 2 is where Chainsaw Man just falls apart, because I really like part 2. Some parts I think, like, part 2 did better than part 1. I really like Chainsaw Man part 2. So I don't know what to say, because this ending just did a terrible job at it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. You know, like, the ending, it really sucks, because I actually had, like, really high hopes for this ending. Not really high hopes, I just thought that, like, it would be, like, good, right? Or at least be something that Fujimoto would write. This doesn't seem like something Fujimoto would write. Like, judging by, like, his one-shots and Fire Punch and whatever. This just seems like, you know, maybe his editor was like, he had, like, an original ending plan where everything would just go bad. But his editor probably saw it and was like, no. Chainsaw Man is too successful for you to do that. And so you have to do this. But, honestly, I might have, like, preferred to see Fujimoto's rendition of, a bad ending instead of whatever the heck this is. But yeah, that's all. Thank you.